Hello and welcome back to Trigger Happy Havoc, and incidentally, I believe this is part 50, which means this will be the last one I'll get uploaded this week. I think we've still got basically one more chapter of this game left to go, so I will record it whenever I can sneak in an hour or two here and there, and try and get it up over weekends. Okay? Sorry, but I only have so much time in a week. Wait. Why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Hi guys. Sorry to suddenly sort of cut into this video, probably kind of unexpectedly, but didn't have a choice, because this is actually the second time I'm uploading this video, because the first time I got a full-on copyright claim. That's not a copyright strike, my channel's not in any kind of problems or anything like that, but within 2 minutes of the processing on it finishing, I got a copyright claim that just blocked the whole video worldwide, which was, well, kind of frustrating, if I'm honest. The specific point that the owners had a problem with was the cinematic that I've had to now chop out, which is of Momoko's? Yeah, of the main character's execution. So I'm just going to have to explain to you what you missed and then re-upload it. Sorry for having to do this, but I don't have the time to fight a claim like that, and frankly, I'd probably lose it anyway, because Okay, I'll rephrase that. If I fight it, I would win in the end, but I'd probably end up getting a full strike in the meantime, and it's not worth the hassle, basically. So, sorry. I mean, if they'd just taken the monetization, I would have left it, because that's what I usually do. Because, again, it's not worth fighting. But since it was blocked worldwide, I figured I'd better actually pull it down and re-upload it. So, what did you miss? Well, our main character is getting executed, so he gets put on a sort of thing with a big crushy thing behind him, and he's sort of, in a school desk, slowly rolling back towards it, crushy, crushy, crushy. And then Chihiro, or, well, alter ego, turns up on the laptop screen, and the crusher stops just long enough for him to finish rolling back and fall down a honking great rubbish chute. Yeah, so that's a thing that happened. Again, sorry I can't show it to you, sorry I've had to cut this in so unsubtly, but them's the breaks. So, back to the Let's Play already in progress. Huh? Huh? What's this? What's going on? What was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. Stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never going to see him again.
Yeah!
To waste away in a garbage strewn pit. Anyway, that's an even better special punishment. It's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still going to bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Yeah, hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the centre of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privileged. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you're set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future. Makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school, and two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. Huh? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. Wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck's going on? Huh? What the hell? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. Oh God, what an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high across the arena. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit? Ugh, what a heck of a solution to find myself in. Well, that was just the beginning of my problems. I was going to be stuck in it until I whisked away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego had saved me, and used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself, and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Well, I would assume the door's a pretty good place to start. Damn, it's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here is not going to be that easy. Still, if I'm not going to be getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Well, it's pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. I can never be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I am still alive. And as long as I'm alive, I will never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, not being able to eat or drink. And I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell up from above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Hello, Kyoko.
It smells awful.
This smell is awful. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I had expected. What are you doing here?
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead, eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Oh, thank you. I snatched at the bread and water that she was holding out for me, and within seconds it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So, you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why do you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, to... No, to atone. Atone?
you...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. You knew that I knew.
Indeed.
Even though I knew, I did not help you. I abandoned you. Oh, don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You're trying to save me. I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
So I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to the Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once? Until recently, I had forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I have no memory of what my purpose was. No memory. That's impossible. Amnesia? Then it's really true. You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? First thing. I'm talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's rather hard to imagine it happened by chance. Seems much too convenient. You saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive that it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose. My ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and to the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. If what you say is true, why don't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind actually is one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it, it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
But that being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself. Which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was simply intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right though, there's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like that dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I'll understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability? My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak headmaster? Well, that explains... When Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll
find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there is no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. So what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the drawers were dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor dorms using the key that I'd found. Why there? Because I'd also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Makuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I go there, I noticed that the second floor dorms don't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realised whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And ominous. So do we have a way out of here or not? Of course, once I got to the second floor dorms, there were no cameras, no monitors. That's why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. You're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so who did kill her? What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key, disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. That was... The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you're free to explore at your own discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and without rule in place, they could not step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me to cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away, and as I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the master assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So that'd mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind,
Indeed.
right? I don't have conclusive conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. It's not just Mikuru. They needed the class trial to kill me. They seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. What's it all mean?
In other words,
It means the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other Ultimate Despair. The other Ultimate Despair? There's no doubt that Mikuru was the Ultimate Despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the Ultimate Despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the Ultimate Despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking
That's
about
right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the Ultimate
It would
Despair.
seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the Ultimate Despair. And that is our real enemy. 100-mile dash, pain of a junk food junkie. We've still got 6 students left. And I think this is the last chapter, because based on what I've read, there are only 6. The Dream Island rocket present. Yeah, I'll save later. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. The same people who put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That's the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Right now,
Anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, alright. You got the key then. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool you got from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the Mastermind. I would never part of it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate Pain. Ultimate Suffering. Ultimate Despair. Ultimate Execution. Ultimate Death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel, and we started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. I would like to once again congratulate the art team on the fact that, the inside of her skirt is shadowed sufficiently so it's not an upskirt shot. And once again, I'm depressed that I have to compliment the art team on that. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you've said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? How long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. Came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There's a time when being a detective was considered a scary duty. Sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? How come? It's like your family tradition, right, sir?
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
The detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned. Can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. She hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up something of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did, knowing it was something a true Kagari detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far as to enter Hope's Peak Academy, is because of how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reunited after all those years. You've had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There is nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself. But apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kagari family. He was talented, had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I couldn't see her expression. I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what everyone in my position would like to say, right? That's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I needed him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him. Tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we all connected by heart and soul? No.
Okay.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. So where the hell are we, I wonder? Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. We're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks are necessary. I was simply returning the favour. Well, that to me is an excellent point to end this part. So, as I said, I will be continuing this on weekends when I have the opportunity. And yeah, review will be coming out on Friday as per. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.